Good morning. I think we're good. How are you today? That's good. Good to know. Hmm. All right. Good morning. Another somewhat late of a start today. Um, had to get some things in order. Took me a while to try to figure out a thumbnail today. And I'm not satisfied with the one that we're using, but it's fine. Doesn't really matter. Um, not all that concerned. It's very cold in here today. I think the temperature is like 65 degrees in this house. Dipped low, dip low. The temperature dropped a little bit last night, and we're dealing with it. It's fine. Okay, I should say welcome. Good morning. This is Wake Up Call, the show where I wake up in the morning. It takes me a little takes me a little bit of time to wake up, but once I do, I think things get fun. Um, I will recap yesterday for you. What I did yesterday, we went out. If you remember from the show yesterday, we went out to get a washer and dryer. We did not get a washer and dryer. We did not purchase one. We meant to. We didn't. Um, the salesman that we wanted to speak to was out. He had a family emergency, which is probably more than I need to really actually tell you. But while we were there, it turned into a lot more than just a washer and dryer. My levels are a little low. Is that what the case is? What if I turn this ish all the way up? Is that better? Does this sound better? Is that better? Oh, that's better. Okay. So it turned into a little bit more than just a washer and dryer because we saw some pretty stuff. So we have plans to buy pretty stuff. And I think because we've struggled for a long time that it's okay for us to buy pretty stuff once in a while. I'm still trying to get things situated, so give me a second. Oh, so after we were went to the appliance store. After we went to the appliance store, we had to stop at my sister's because remember that gift I was telling you that my sister and nephew got me. It came in. It's in, and I got it. And I really want to show it off. I don't know what the best way to do it is though, because it's cumbersome. It's a small box, but it's just I gotta watch out for the matcha. I gotta make sure that this is on screen. So my sister and nephew took advantage of the new options for Funko Pops where you can design it yourself. Links in the description. This is not sponsored by Funko, but if you would like to sponsor this video, I'll suck your dick. Um, whose dick would I suck though? Is it the Funko mascot? Because that's fine, but if it's a real person, I don't want to do that, and I don't want to offer that because that's sexual. Maybe it's sexual. It's just whatever. This is the Funko Pop. Funko, go pop yourself. Go funk yourself. Funko yourself. Pop yourself. Comes in this nifty little box. It says you are one of one. I don't like that messaging because a lot of you aren't one of ones. You are the same exact person as the person next to you. But some of you are one of ones. And if you're here, you're probably a one of one because I don't fuck with these these carbon copy people. So that's cool. Then it comes in this like extra protective thing. You snap the corners down. We don't need to go into a whole unboxing. Let me just show you what they did and like how cool it is. Look at this. It says Uncle Greg at the bottom. Are you serious? It's got a cat there and a cat there. We have 3 cats, but it only let her do 2. So I'm gonna have to find out how to get another cat, just a small cat. And then my sister said, "What do you want him to be holding?" And he said, my nephew said a lollipop. And it could have been money, but he chose a lollipop because I'm a sucker. I don't know. I thought that was cool, though. I thought that was a really cool gift. I'm very, very excited to bust this out of the box because I'm not going to keep it in the box. There's no way. This is mine forever. There's no reason to, like, keep it in mint condition. But so cool, right? I mean, so cool. You guys don't know enough about me yet, but I wear a beanie in the wintertime, like, and fall. Like right now, it's just the perfect time for me to do it. I'm just doing it. Just wearing a beanie. I always have a button, like an open button-up shirt on, some jeans. Are those my Balenciaga Adidas? Boy, they did it. They did a great job. Absolutely great job. I think it's a very, very cool gift. And you can do it yourself. You know, you can do one yourself. I'm not sure where this is going to go, but I want people to be able to see it in the background. Where I have that Superboard stuff, those will not be there because I'm getting rid of those because fuck Bored Apes and NFTs and all that shit. But like getting rid of that stuff. So maybe it'll sit closer to the camera back there. You know what I mean? Like right there or something. You know what I mean? That'll be cool. But I was really excited about that. I thought that was a very cool gift. They know me really well. It's really good. A gift. Oh god, I got cat hair in my mouth. So that's fucking sweet. So I have a decent show for you planned today, which is not like other shows because I just wing it, but I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to really figure it out. Trying to figure out what I think people, what's going to be like more beneficial to me. Like I think maybe at night kind of planning out what we're going to watch. But I still do like I still do like the idea of just kind of winging it at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like just kind of go like a freestyle. Because there's a lot of stuff that pops up and then it brings back stuff that I don't want to talk about that I end up talking about because I have zero filter on my mouth. But it's fine. I don't mind it. I don't really care right now because we don't have many viewers or subs or anything. While I'm thinking about it, if you are here watching this, click like and subscribe if you'd like to. Click like definitely. Click dislike if you don't like it, because that's still get what's up, Casey? That'll still get me some kind of like algorithmic attention with the dislike. I'm okay with that. So that's the deal. Today I have a couple videos that I want to watch that sparked some conversation last night. And got me thinking about a little bit of things. But first, I want to talk about something that has got me, ever since I saw it, it's got me fired up. And it's TikTok related, which no surprise here that TikTok would annoy the piss out of me. But it specifically, it's something that I find, TikTok is weird. It's like the least amount of effort is what wins on TikTok. The least amount of thought that you put into something is what wins on TikTok. And I know so many people are like, "Oh no, you got to change your feed." Like I don't have the patience or time to be scrolling hours through TikTok to try to figure out and click these things for it to like give me what I want. So I just don't do it. It's like TikTok is, I see everything on Instagram Reels. I have no need to be up on the latest TikTok bullshit. I have zero need for that. But there is one thing that keeps coming to my attention, and it is the Shelley Duvall thing. Do you know what the Shelley Duvall thing is? Like everybody knows who Shelley Duvall is, but for no reason other than this stupid fucking TikTok series or this video. Let me switch back. I have to reprogram my Stream Deck because I messed it up, and all my stuff. Now, wait, before I start this and I click back over and show you what I'm talking about, this is going to seem extremely misogynistic, okay? Because this is an all-female thing. I haven't seen any males do this at all. There could be some. I am debating on being the only male to do this, because the least amount of effort is this is like a least amount of effort thing, like, and it's just wildly popular. It drives me crazy though, because the thing that drives me crazy about it is that, like, I think kids, and I mean kids by anybody under 25, think that this is how you become famous, is to put in the least amount of effort as possible. And I can tell by some of these bedrooms that these kids don't have a very good work ethic. You know what I mean? Because if you're doing a TikTok, you might want to clean your fucking room. You know what I mean? Like me, I don't care. I'm a loser. We already know that. I'm trying to. We've established that. Like, look at this room. It's a disaster. So yeah, let me just jump into this, and you'll see what I mean by how, like, disappointing this is. That's a great word for it. It's disappointing. It doesn't anger me. It's just like disappointing to the point where it makes me rant. Let me make sure my headphones are on. I think she said power on. Power off. Let's see. Can you hear this?
Power on.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for the most, Casey, I would love to call it organized chaos. I think it's just laziness. I appreciate it, though. Things just pile up. You can't really see. Back here, yeah, definitely. Well, back here, definitely organized chaos. But behind me on this table there is no organization. It is pure chaos. Let me switch. Okay, guys, let me preface. Do not. I know you're going to want to claw your eyes and ears out, but don't. Okay? Because I really want you to be able to click like and subscribe and continue to watch this show and listen. Again, this is a warning. This is horrendous. Okay? So the initial video is this.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
I like
Hello,
it.
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
This
Hello.
is like
I'm Shelley Duvall.
3 years old.
Hello,
Thank you,
I'm
Casey,
Shelley
for the
Duvall.
like. I appreciate
Hello,
it.
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm.
We know that one. That one's years old. This
Hello,
is what drives
I'm
me
Shelley
crazy.
Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Zero effort.
Hello,
Don't
I'm
even
Shelley
try to
Duvall.
like
Hello,
match your lips.
I'm
to the
Shelley
thing.
Duvall. Hello,
Look at this.
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
I don't
I'm
understand
Shelley
what's
Duvall.
happening to Shelley Duvall. Just because there's different outfits, I don't get it.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
They're not
I'm
even
Shelley
trying to match your
Duvall.
lips.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley
Like,
Duvall.
have put in some effort, just a little bit. Now this girl looks cool as shit. This girl looks cool as shit. She looks like an actual a someone who thinks for herself. Her outfits look dope. Let's see.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Oh no.
Hello,
What do
I'm
you know?
Shelley Duvall. Hello,
Zero effort.
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
No
I'm
effort.
Shelley Duvall.
Hi.
Hello,
I want to
I'm
look
Shelley
like I hate the
Duvall.
world
Hello.
and have no. The banana one was dope. The banana one was dope. Okay. because I wasn't expecting that. Now, these people scare me because I'm not sure if they want to eat my soul or hang out and have fun. Because they could be two. It could be one of two things. They could be really fun people, or they might want to eat you. I would love to transform the music. That would be some effort, but I get it. It's like the NPC trend. It is. It's like the NPC trend has a little bit of creativity to it because you can change the the response to the input, that the people are putting. But this is just kind of like, this is the same shit. This one is a little bit more creative.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. 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 Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
I've stopped thinking.
Hello,
why are
I'm
they
Shelley
like this? I
Duvall.
always think,
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
yes,
Hello,
I'm
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
That's what I'm doing.
I'm Shelley Duvall.
Farming with
Hello,
music right
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello.
So it drives me crazy, and it seems like the more conventionally cute you are, the less amount of effort you put in, and that is like, I'm riding on my looks. Thank you. The only thing that I have going for me is my looks. So definitely click like. This is that same
Hello,
girl that we thought
I'm
was
Shelley Duvall.
interesting.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Still.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
Why does it look
Hello,
like they're saying
I'm Shelley.
Duvall? Why does it look like they're saying b instead of v? You know what I mean? Watch when she talks, it looks like she's saying Shelley Duvall or Shelley Dumal. V means like when you say v, your teeth touch the bottom of your lips, right? V. But that's not the case here.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
Yeah, Shelley
I'm Shelley
Duvall.
Duvall.
Like,
Hello,
girl, it's in
Hello,
the name
I'm Shelley
of
Duvall.
the music.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
People looking
Hello,
pretty and
I'm
weird
Shelley
little
Duvall.
outfits.
Hello,
Say no
I'm
more
Shelley
than
Duvall.
nothing.
Hello,
I'm
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, hello,
You say no
I'm
mention
Shelley
this,
Duvall.
I guess it will happen.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
I don't know
Hello,
if it's a new
I'm Shelley
trend or
Duvall.
something
Hello,
I've seen.
I'm Shelley Duvall.
It's
Hello,
pretty
hello,
new.
I'm Shelley Duvall.
Looks
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
like
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
But anyways, I woke up this morning and the song was in my head. Oh, wait a minute. This one actually looks kind of funny. Let's see.
hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley
Fair
Duvall.
enough. Oh, boy. Okay. So now that our brains are completely full of rot, I would like to move on to something more productive. Wait.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. 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 Hello,
Oh,
hello,
no.
I'm Shelley
I can already
Duvall.
tell you. She ain't even
Hello,
moving her
I'm
mouth.
Shelley Duvall. Hello,
Zero effort.
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello,
Girl in the
I'm Shelley
background, though.
Duvall. Hello, I'm
What
Shelley
the
Duvall.
shit?
Hello, I'm Shelley
Oh my
Duvall.
God.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
That's actually clever.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley.
Okay. I got to hand it to him. They're not all bad. Some of them are terrible, but they're not all bad. Okay. Let's move on from this absolutely saccharine sweet. It's not sweet. What are we good? We're good. Don't do it anymore. X. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So, one thing that I did see last night when I was looking for things to talk about today was this podcast scam, where it seems like some of the biggest podcasters on the planet have been scammed out of millions of dollars by one specific dude. And it's really weird. Also, my understanding of YouTube and how much podcasts make is off. That was something I wanted to talk about here. I don't know if you guys know CoffeeZilla, but he is a goat. CoffeeZilla is an internet detective of sorts. The guy is exposing scams, scammers, anybody that seems to be of a nefarious nature. CoffeeZilla exposes. He doesn't do it in the way that some people do on YouTube. He has his production quality is it's out of this world. The dude is he definitely puts time into this stuff. And this topic came up very recently with Theo Von exposed. Well, maybe we should get into it. But what I'm saying is this came up, I think, last week or maybe earlier this week. And CoffeeZilla put together a video in his production style and had it put out within like a few days. And the guy is just absolutely dedicated to this, I think. But as you can see here, I have Whitney Cummings, Theo Von, Brennan, Dumbass Schaub, and Sarah Silverman, huge podcasters. They were with a podcasting network that was meant to get them sponsorships and stuff like that, which is how I think people make money with a podcast. Because when Theo Von reveals how much he makes, and then CoffeeZilla reveals how much he makes, I'm like, dude, you got 3 million subs. How are you only breaking? But anyways, we'll get into it. This is a longer video. There is a lot of context to it, so I want to make sure that I watch the whole thing. But I don't want it to be too boring. But if this is a topic that I wanted to kind of like talk about.
$4 million was stolen from these podcasters, and I decided to investigate. I found the man responsible, but before we confront him, let's go back to where it all started, when Theo Von, a comedian, released this.
Our podcast was defrauded. We were stolen from. The company that did it is Cast Media, and the man that did it is Colin Thompson. In total, I've just between talking with folks, there's up to $4 million.
You know you're pissed off when you expose not only the company, but the individual who did it. That, you know, Theo Von is a very calm and chill dude. Like, when he gets pissed off, he's usually really funny. When he's pissed off, he gets really calm, and I love it. It's in front of camera. I don't know what he's like off camera. He's a fucking podcast guy and comedian. I don't know him, but it's crazy to see somebody that's always happy and go lucky, making a joke of things, everything, get this angered. I just continue.
Dollars that I know of.
We're
in the million 6 figures. I know of podcasts that are in the 7 figures.
Now, Theo Von explaining that he is only in the 6 figures from his podcast is kind of shocking to me. I'm going to go ahead and say he's in the high 6 figures. 600 grand a year is what I imagine what he makes from his podcast. He doesn't, I know he gets a lot of views. I know his shorts are like everywhere. So, but 600,000, I was expecting way more. I say 600,000 just because it's a relatively safe number to say. Could be lower, could be higher. He said 6 figures. I was shocked by that.
Now, when I saw this, I had the same 2 questions on my mind as you do. 1, who is Colin Thompson? And
right.
2, y'all are making 6 to 7 figures doing podcasts? I'm in the wrong line of work. I make like 4 figures here. And
there's no fucking way. He's lying. He has to be. 4 figures is thousands. Under 10,000. CoffeeZilla has 2 million views on this video alone, and it's been posted 16 hours ago. He has 3.8 or 3.08 million subs. There's no way that he's making, 4 figures. That doesn't make any sense. And if it does make sense, like, bro, what are you doing wrong? You need sponsorships or something. But the way he does his content, you know what I mean? There's no way. It's like, I hope he's lying, because then I just don't want to do this anymore. I can make way more doing dumber shit. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I hope he's lying. I would think CoffeeZilla makes about 5 figures. Honestly, before I saw this, I thought he made 6 figures. Just judging on ad revenue and the amount of views that he gets. Like I said, 16 million views. Sponsor or advertisers who run ads, pre-roll ads on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't pay as well as I thought. I don't know. Like, just get a sponsorship, bro. Leave a coffee cup on your table. I don't know. I imagine that you would get, Casey. I imagine that you. Well, I don't imagine. I know you get paid through downloads, and then you also, but it's like minuscule. But you get paid majority based on sponsorship and ads. And I guess most of these people, depending on how many views, their ad spaces for, like, let's say like a HelloFresh, they're like making like 30 grand from that just that ad, running that ad. But a few, like in 2016, those ads were way cheaper. Like, I'm not even joking. You could get an influencer to do whatever you wanted to with a $50 Visa card. And that's how things used to run when I was doing that shit. You would reach out to an influencer, throw them a swag bag and a $50 Visa gift card, and they would do whatever you wanted them to do. And nowadays it's like, if you have, I know that like the Kardashians and stuff, they're like in the millions, tens of millions of dollars for just like a mention on Instagram. I want to hit the 1K subs so you can. Yeah, me too. I've been out of the loop for a long time, and I'm interested to see like what I can do. 1K subs seems so far off. What's the Social Blade thing? What's the Social Blade thing? Oh, shit. Let's see. COFFEE. Yeah, I mean, I think it's all public knowledge. So. Okay, a month. That makes more sense. He said he's in the 4 figures, 50 estimated yearly earnings, 19. That's a huge discrepancy there. Shut the fuck up, man. Whoa. That is pennies. 253,000 views, and you get anywhere from $63 to $1,000 with 3 million subs. I think he needs to like reevaluate his daily averages. Get out of here, dude. $54. What would it's not even worth it. monthly gain subs. I don't know if this is accurate, but it's probably a good number. I bet you it's more like 857. He probably gets more. And if he isn't, he needs to like rethink his monetary strategy, because these numbers are extremely low. Oh, so what's the okay? I see. Okay. Now the brand deals that must come along with it. Right. I imagine, some of the smartest people on that have made their millions from YouTube started early when YouTube was like the Wild West, when people were just throwing brand deals left and right. And now I think people are kind of like more reserved. Like Logan Paul and stuff. He's still making money from his older videos and stuff, and it's just trickling in. But then I'm not like a fan of Logan Paul, but his ability to parlay things is phenomenal. I'm not sure how he's like, you must have to go into life with like absolute blind confidence, because if I knew that dude in real life, or if that dude lived where I lived, he would be a clown. He would not be a popular dude. He would just be this random fucking corn-fed dude. He's just there's a million of those people out here. But maybe it was just new to the world back then. I don't know.
In the $10 million studio, barely keep the lights on, okay? So I went to do some research, figure out, how these people are making all this money, and also how they got robbed. And what I found out was that this company that stole the $4 million was a podcast network called Cast Media.
Yeah.
Podcast network being a fancy name for saying they represent podcasts to find sponsors.
Right.
All that stuff you violently skip with the fast forward 15-second button. Yeah, those guys. And Cast Media would basically work with them as a middleman. They would take some money, give the podcasters the read.
That is why CoffeeZilla is only making so much. He spends so much time and invests so much into what he's doing that I think that maybe his net, and maybe he means per video, because that would make more sense to me. Yeah, like the Logan Paul type is just like it never was new. They've always existed, and it's just kind of like they're not funny, but they do shit that is like like extremely offensive, and it'll get laughs because of like, I want to be cool too. I hate those people, man. And Logan Paul, whatever. I don't want to go too far on Logan Paul, but yeah, there's just a million Logan Pauls out there. He just happens to be the one with the money.
And then give the money. Of course, taking a cut for themselves. Now,
Sure.
That is simplifying it a
sense to
bit,
me.
and we'll go into the details more later. But what you need to know is that Cast Media hadn't been paying their talent on time. And what started as being late for maybe a month had turned into 7, 8, 9 months late on paying, until one day
shit.
Cast Media and their CEO, Colin Thompson, says, hey, we're probably going to go into bankruptcy, which means you get nothing unless you take a special deal with another podcast network called Podcast One. Now, who's Podcast One? Well, it's an even bigger network, and they basically say, hey, we'll acquire you, pay off what you're owed, if you sign a new deal with new terms with us. If you do, you'll get back some of the money you're owed now, some of the money you're owed over 2 years, and you'll also get stock in our company.
Okay.
But what stock? Well, Podcast Network stock, a company that wasn't public yet, but as of this video now is, and is down almost 50%.
Okay.
Now, if you took that stock in
Right.
2 years, you could sell it. How much?
That
it's
is
worth
a
at that
major
point is
major
dubious.
thing.
Now,
That's a
Podcast
major
One
thing. So podcast networks shouldn't even exist anymore. There's no reason for it. Am I peeking out on this audio? That's crazy. I just adjusted it a tiny bit, just so I could be over top of the video itself. Hold on. Let me testicle. Got you. It's still I still gonna peek out. I don't know. But I'm not sure why podcast networks exist. Or podcast YouTube networks. Okay, how about this? I understand the need to network, the need for small creators to be on stream or in videos with big creators. I understand that. I understand that you may want to join a network in order to get yourself on these videos or podcasts. It's helpful. It causes corruption, though. It causes unfair advantages, and it means for someone like me, I will never get to that level because I'd have to make friends with people. You know what I mean? And how do you make friends with people? You reach out to them, you talk to them, how do you know how to make friends? But you can't do that with like Casey Neistat. How are you going to make friends with Casey Neistat? Well, you got to do something crazy outlandish on the internet to do it, or you join a podcast network. You join a YouTube network. These networks end up going under pretty fucking quickly, though, because there's no real money to be made there. And there's so much corruption that like their CEOs, their higher ups, they steal the money. It just happened to H3 recently. So you're talking somebody that doesn't need a network at all. They had a network up until very recently. And they found out that they were owed $600 and some $1,000. So that's crazy. But anyways, let's get back into it.
Say they were just trying to help. It wasn't their debt, so it's a great deal. Now, the more cynical view of this is that it's kind of strong-arming creators. You either take the deal or you'll never get what you're paid.
Right.
I mean, podcasters like Jim Cornette were literally told, in the event that Cast is unable to close the Podcast One asset sale, it will likely declare bankruptcy. So take the deal or lose everything you're owed. And to make things stranger, Podcast One was paying Cast Media in stock for every podcaster that took
Paying
the
them
deal.
in stock.
So if you agreed and wanted the money you were owed, you're kind of bailing out the company that got you into this mess.
Right.
So obviously some people didn't like that deal. Although understandably, others did and took the deal. And look, I'm not here to litigate whether those Podcast One deals are good or bad. Frankly, it's not the point of this video. All cleanups are gonna be messy. What I did want to know, though, is how did that $4 million go missing in the first place? And to try to find out, I began to reach out to everyone, starting with Colin Thompson, to ask for his side of the story.
This is why I like
You're
this
being accused
Coffeezilla
of
right here.
basically stealing $4 million. Your clients say you defrauded them. What's your side of the story?
Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. I wanted to talk with you because I appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate your journalistic integrity. And
Nah, how about this? You're scared shitless, dog, because Coffeezilla he's ruthless. He'll put your shit everywhere. And I think we're about to see that's
I know that you're going to tell a fair story. Cast is sort of the dream of
how PR 101. PR 101. I reached out to you because I really like the way you do things. You have journalistic integrity. I really know that you're going to tell a fair story. Okay, so S the D of the person that's going to expose you. PR 101. You know what I mean? Become friends. Try to befriend the person that is about to expose you. Be the sweetest person you can to the person that's about to expose you. It never works.
the vision of independence, free speech, not bound by sort of corporate norms, the ability and the backbone to support visionary, talented, unique, independent voices, people like Theo Von. cast perspective was independence is the product. There were plenty of times where, we believed in a show. It ran into trouble. Maybe it was canceled in one way or another, and canceled, quote unquote. And we stood by our creators, right? Continue.
But what does that have to do with it? So yes, it takes the work out of the creators. It takes the work out of the creators. Don't have to do the work to try to the creators don't have to do the work to try to land sponsorship deals. But if everyone knew how easy it was to get sponsorship deals, I think you'd do it. I think you'd do it yourself, because you get to negotiate the price. You get to fucking make your deals. It's a much smarter thing. Or hire somebody to do it for you, but don't go with someone that you don't know to do it. I would. He said that the show had been canceled, quote unquote canceled, at some point, at some time. He said it was canceled at some time. Now, I'm not sure. I know he said some shit. Theo Von has said some shit, and he said, we stand by our creators. But what the fuck you doing, dude? YouTube has to kick them off, right? And to secure sponsorships, you have to be... You don't you want sponsors that align with what you're going to talk about? Like, there's no fucking way that Brooklinen is going to, like, sponsor me. Maybe they will. I mean, they sponsor Tom and Christina. Your Mom's House podcast, and they're super wild. But the views outweigh the, I'm trying to think of people that aren't gonna sponsor me. A lot. I'm not gonna get a brand deal from, say, I don't know. But I'm not trying for those deals. I want people that are gonna align with me, products that I use, companies that I want to deal with. I will make no money doing that. But I think that is my responsibility as someone that if I was to speak to a large group of people, that it would be my responsibility to make sure that those brands align with what my ideas, not so much that I align with the brand's ideas. That's what you mean. That's what selling out means. That's what it means to sell out. I don't want to change anything that I'm about because I've aligned myself with Crayola. You know what I mean? If I align myself with Crayola, I can't draw dicks on stream anymore. And I want to draw dicks on stream. Okay?
To support them through that time, when maybe a more corporate organization wouldn't. We weathered the storm together. We believe truly that that's what, was unique and special about Cast. And my heart and soul is still in that vision. I'm a musician originally, and I got into this because I wanted to support shows that were bucking the trend, going against the grain, but unique. And
no, I understand that. There's so many people that have said the same shit in the NFT space specifically, something that I got roped into and kind of sucked into from the beginning. And I started really to quickly understand, like, the people that were in the NFT space, they weren't very honest about what they were trying to do. There was a lot of people that were like, we're doing this because we want to free the artist from copyright. You know what I mean? We want to be able to say that this artist owns this work and they are getting paid every time the money exchanges hands. Okay? But then in other, like, Twitter spaces, they would be talking about, like, how much money they're making, and I'm not going to be around tomorrow to cut these checks and stuff because they're going to be in Aspen skiing, like, right after they sold out their NFTs things. There was people that were like, I'm creating a music label, right, to escape music labels. NFTs musical NFTs, audio NFTs would give artists their rights to their own music. Newsflash, motherfucker. If you make the music outside of label, You own the content. You don't need it to be in an NFT. But then they would charge these people that thought that it sounded good a crazy amount to market their shit, and they would end up making nothing while the marketing team made everything. There's two people that I worked for, one person that I've worked for in the past, in 2016, 2017, 2015, 2016, 2017, that is now in the was in the NFT space when I got out. And that was when I realized that this was a bad scene, because he had been in trouble for embezzling money from the company that he co-owned with somebody that I worked closely with. He was making NFTs that were absolute dog shit and then selling them as if they were, Picassos, for the same amount as Picassos. But I'm not going to say what the guy's name is, but I'll just say he wore a pager in 2016 and probably still does. He's not a trustworthy human being, and that space was full of those people that they gave zero fucks, just like this guy gave zero fucks about the creator. It cared all about what they were doing for themselves and their own ego, so they could take what they were saying and move it to their next thing in life. I know plenty of people just like this guy. Maybe they did start out with the idea of helping other people and creators and stuff like that, but quickly when they realized that the money that they were making could be more, they get greedy and they ask for more, and then they end up fucking themselves over because their original ideals are trash. They throw them to the side and they just collect the cash.
Important to the broader dialogue.
But where's the 4 million?
Right,
I mean,
dog.
I mean, yeah,
This is why I love
you.
CoffeeZilla.
I hear you. Everybody's got a grand vision, but the grand vision, when we get to this point, everyone wants to know where the money is, not what the vision is.
Sure. We built an infrastructure at Cast that I was and am tremendously proud of. I believe that over the years we generated better revenue for creators.
Watch how he avoids the question.
Paid them out more than other podcasts would necessarily be able to, because we invested heavily in an infrastructure, took an individualized approach, anecdotally.
But you're saying you pay out more, but I mean, clearly that's kind of not true, right?
Wait, but you asked for my story. Do you mind if I just tell the story?
He didn't ask for your story, dog. He asked, "Where's the money?"
Financial difficulties.
Sure.
Our vision, it really worked. Creators benefited, made a lot more money than they would have, and many creators do have more money in their pocket now because of that. However, during the period from February 2022 until February 2023, our unit.
What's the logic? Cat's in the window again. Hopefully you guys can't hear that.
Made a lot more money than they would have, and many creators do have more money in their pocket now because of that. However,
did I miss the logic part?
True, right?
Wait, but you asked for my story. Do you mind if I just tell the story? We're getting to the financial difficulties. Steven.
Sure.
Our vision, it really worked. Creators benefited, made a lot more money.
What was the vision? That they could just secure sponsorships for these individuals that were pushing the podcast envelope, so to speak?
Than they would have.
Yeah, that is what it is. They're making more money than they would have because we reached out and got them sponsorship deals, which was probably the same exact sponsorship deals that they were giving everybody else. So let's say HelloFresh. HelloFresh was sponsoring Theo Von, and if you were part of this network, they would reach out on the behalf of, say, Whitney Cummings and say, HelloFresh, hey, HelloFresh, we have another person that I think you guys would really align with. Here's them. So the initial work from the beginning is a lot to try to secure that The initial work from the beginning is a lot to try to secure that sponsorship from the beginning. But then the work on the other hand, because they made a connection with the marketing person at HelloFresh, they would then just reach out and be like, "Hey, Brittany, I've got Whitney Cummings. Do you know Whitney Cummings? Yeah, she started a podcast. Well, she gets, so many million views. How about jump on this trend?" And then Sarah Silverman, we got Sarah Silverman also. Oh, and we also have, you know what I mean? It's just a email, so it's not like this dude is trying to make it sound like he's like pulling the fucking cart, dude. You're not pulling the cart, dog. Like you're just making a call to the connection you've already made. I could do the same thing. You could do the same thing. Everybody can do the exact same thing.
And
and these contacts are not hard to find, by the way. The people that are in the marketing business are in the marketing department of these companies. Their sole job is to find people to market. And their marketing budgets are massive. They're looking for small creators. They're looking for big creators. They're looking for micro communities. Is that the right one? Micro communities. People that are like bloggers that have 500 to maybe 10,000 active, of a community of 5 to 10,000 or 500 to 10,000 active community members that visit their site or watch their videos on a regular basis. This is where engagement becomes a huge part of social media and how money is made. Views are not the only way things are paid. Views are paid, but views are not the only determining factor of how much money gets made. It's oh my God. Engagement is a huge factor. Engagement is the biggest factor. It's the determining factor. They don't give a shit how many people viewed it, really. They just see what's your engagement. That could be the issue with CoffeeZilla. I don't know what his engagement is like across platforms. 6,219 comments. That's pretty good and pretty good engagement for a video that is 16 hours old. It just shocks me to see his numbers be so low.
Many creators do have more money in their pocket now because of that. However, during the period from February 2022 until February 2023, our unit economics changed drastically. Our revenue per download, which is an important metric for analyzing sales performance.
That makes no fucking sense. So in 2020, when everyone was home watching YouTube, that's when the money dropped? Is that what he said? 2020? Sorry.
Our revenue per download, which is an important metric for that. However, during the period from February 2022 until February 2023,
got you. So
our
you
unit
started this in
economics
2020.
Changed drastically.
That's what happens, man.
Our revenue per download, which is an important metric for analyzing sales performance, free from content performance considerations, dropped by 58%. In other words, over the course of those 12 months, the revenue that we could generate on one download moved down by 58%,
Okay, that took 3 minutes to get to a real answer.
Right.
And I've got to be honest, this whole conversation was about that painful. Talking to somebody who owes creators millions and he's telling you how he got them paid so much money is a little frustrating, but setting that aside, the central claim of Colin is that all of this happened because revenues dropped in 2022 and he just couldn't pay people on time.
Okay.
But as I spoke to people about Colin, I realized late payments weren't a new thing at all.
But revenue dropped, right? Revenue dropped. And I'm assuming there was contracts involved. If there was contracts involved, then you have to just fucking pay the people. And if you can't pay those artists, if you can't pay those creators, If you can't pay those creators, then something's wrong in your finances. If you are taking money from a sponsorship, that money is there, right? Let's say I take $100 from CoffeeZilla's. I'm getting CoffeeZilla sponsorships, right? I take $100 off of CoffeeZilla sponsorship with this mug. Let's just say this is a branded mug. I take $100. That $100 is there. If CoffeeZilla is supposed to get $40 out of it, then I give CoffeeZilla immediately $40. The only way that gets fucked up is if you're spending more money to get the sponsorship deals than you're getting in return, and more than you're promising to give the creators. It doesn't sound like a financial issue. It sounds like a bad business model. It's fraud. If you're, you know what I mean? You're withholding this money. What kind of debt would a company that just reaches out to sponsorships, what kind of debt would they have? Unless they got a fucking slide going from floor 2 to floor 1. You know what I mean? Or like vending machines on every level, or you know what I mean? That kind of weird shit. Like, I imagine that's what this kind of company is about. When it doesn't need to be that. It's literally people could just be from home reaching out to their connections at HelloFresh. Who's the other ones? You know, Athletic Greens. Who's the other big one that like does everything? Honey, PayPal Honey. I don't know.
People told me,
but like I'm saying, you could do this yourself. You could reach out to PayPal Honey and get the sponsorship. You could reach out to HelloFresh and get the sponsorship. You could do it yourself. You don't have to like join a network that takes a certain cut of your thing. You could pay someone hourly rates to reach out. You could hire a digital assistant if you wanted to. Pay them $28 an hour to just reach out to these sponsorships. They're gonna get paid $28 an hour regardless. So you know, my idea is for some reason it got really cold here in the past 2 days. Yeah, it's freezing. I forgot to ask about the blanket thing. Blanket, I'm thinking he's culturally appropriating the Native American drip. LOL, but it's freezing. It's freezing here. It's cold in this house. Yeah, you're right. The last couple days it's been cold. It's about 65 degrees in my house right now. But although I don't I don't know. So the way my idea would be to hire a digital assistant from anywhere in the world. Take your pick, because I know some people have a problem with digital assistants, paying digital assistants from certain parts of the country. Doesn't matter. You develop a relationship with that person, and then you tell them that you would give them a percentage increase or a bonus if they were to you tell them flat out front, this is what you're going to pay them to get you sponsorship deals. Let's say you tell them 4 hours a day I want you to spend trying to land me sponsorship deals from these type of sponsors. I need people, let them know, maybe write like a cover letter or something explaining that, for me personally, I would say like I am a little raw. Not everything I say is going to be completely politically correct or like above the line. I do say some raw shit, inflammatory shit, things that piss people off, things that people don't agree with. It's fine though. I think that's what. Anyways, so I would have a cover letter written like that. I would pay the person $28 an hour to reach out to companies that would align with those beliefs. You could blanket cold call all these people. You're paying these people to cold call, cold email all these people. If one lands, you pay them a bonus. That way that they really try hard to get that sponsorship for you. It would save you millions of dollars. Evidently, it would save you millions of dollars if you were to go about it that way. I just don't know that, like, a podcaster or a YouTuber has that like business sense to make that happen. They don't know that like scalability is a thing for them, in terms of like how many people work for them. Even if it's just me doing this, I would pay someone to make it better for me, make it a little bit easier, make my workflow a little bit less, so I can concentrate on the things that I need to concentrate on, in order to make this the best possible thing that I can make. Why is that not happening? And they're hiring these, these quote unquote firms that are all constantly going down. I would never get involved in some kind of bullshit like that. I don't think that it's a smart move. And I would also ask, like, so what happens when I don't, I think that this company has bad business practices. They spend more money than they make. They can't pay their people on time. It's pretty clear what's going on here.
That was always the case. Okay, you joined them in 2018.
2018.
Yeah. So when did you start getting late payments? Basically, like they didn't come when they said they were going to come. And when did you stop getting full payments?
Right away. I can answer that right away. That was right before, from the first check we were supposed to get. It didn't arrive when he said.
It was never on time. So
yeah.
It wasn't unusual if it was like a month late, a month and a half late. And then when it goes from, all right, a month late to 2 months late to 3 months late.
I'm not a big fan of Brendan Schaub at all. Can't stand the motherfucker. I used to love Brian Callen. I don't like where things have gone in the past. It has nothing to do with the allegations against him. It has more to do with who he is and who he is trying to appear to be at this time. But anyways, what I was trying to say was, this deal with Brendan Schaub. The one thing that a couple things that Brendan Schaub does really well is the dude has a business mind. He knows how to make money. And if I was someone that was working with Brendan Schaub, I would 1,000% make sure he has the money on time and when the fuck he wants it. Because you come up late. Yeah, Brian Callen has some allegations. Yeah. Some. They're not like huge allegations. They're just like some kind of like boomer dating type of allegations, like coming on to a chick, pinning a girl, like, I wouldn't say like forceful sex or anything like that, but like more like, being a little too aggressive in terms of trying to pick up women. But it's that boomer thought process of how to pick up girls that like what you do is you just grab them and pull them close to you and kiss her. Like, yeah, well, that doesn't work. Especially when not with younger people. That's not going to fly these days. I don't think it's flown for a long time, to be honest with you. But Brendan Schaub is somebody that I would want to make sure I paid the money to on time, because I think he would come for you hard, meaning like litigation, like there would be lawsuits.
And then I would say, hey, where's the deposit at? I go, yep, they're trying to figure out, man. He says he has this whatever investment coming, you're gonna get this huge lump sum of money. So then that didn't come. Then you're looking at, now you're looking at 4 months, like, where's the money? Then you're looking at 6 months, like, okay, man, where the hell is our money?
Yes, that's a huge problem. Of course, up till 2023, money had slowly started coming in, so people were letting it slide. But as these balances built up over time, eventually Brendan and Brian realized they were owed $400,000 on The Fighter and the Kid.
That's crazy.
And upwards of $1.6 million across all their shows.
Now remember, Brian is just informed about Fighter and the Kid.
This isn't even like only this company. This isn't only this company. The H3 just went through this exact same thing. They were missing out on $600,000 over the entire period of time that they were with a different marketing or a different network. Then that network was on the well, we can't pay you right now. And it was like, well, anyways, this is a known scam. And why in the hell would these two need to be partnered up with a network? They have a large, very niche, well, I wouldn't say niche following, but a specific type of person. They've really refined who their people are. They don't need a network. They're good now. Reach out to Black Rifle and like fucking Butcher Box and those people. Brendan Schaub is a goddamn CBD company. The dude makes hand over fist cash. Like it just pours on him. Plus, I mean, I don't know. When you're that popular, you can just, charge comedy clubs for you to appear just to bring people in the door. Not saying that his comedy's any good because it's absolute dog shit, but the amount of popularity speaks, man. Especially in LA, the currency in LA is clout. You can get anything you want as long as you've got the clout in LA. New York, they don't give a shit about your clout. They don't give a shit about what you did. It's who you know in New York. Here in Ohio, in Toledo, Ohio, the currency is cash. And it's annoying. I wish it was like a little different. What have you done? I would like the currency to be accomplishments, because what have you tried to do? Not too many people are trying here.
You have to manage Thick Boy, Golden Hour, the other shows that are.
Oh, I forgot about that. A whiskey company. Like, just he's got multiple podcasts.
Owed money. So Brian's like, "Can you believe this?" I'm like, "Yeah, that $400,000 is terrible. Try 1.6 mil, bro."
Right.
Wow, 1.6 million. What are we doing here? Now, I should be clear, Colin denies that there were these payment issues before 2022.
Your talent says they stopped getting paid as early as 2021, and they had issues and delays well before 2022.
No, I'm not aware of any difficulties before the end of 2022, the beginning of 2023.
Then I talked to his business partner, and everything changed. He told me accounting was always a nightmare.
My name is Dustin Knaus. I was Colin's business partner, as you would introduce me, and VP of production and creative development with Cast Media.
Okay.
One of the things Colin said is he was not aware of any accounting issues, early on. Is that true? Did you guys hear from talent about, because every talent I talked to said they were constantly complaining about accounting.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone from the beginning had complained about how long it took to get paid. The managers would constantly step in.
Long to get paid.
All of his accounting was done through Google Sheets, basically, and it was just him. But he would never let me see everything. He wouldn't actually let me see what was coming in and what was going out.
Well, that's. I mean, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, unless that dude's working in accounting. You shouldn't let him see that. That's a great way to get someone to fucking leave you, backfire you, hold shit over your head. Should be, how much you're making should be completely private if your company is based on securing brand deals for certain podcasters, because then if you think about it, like, let's say Whitney Cummings, we're going to do HelloFresh again because that's what I was talking about. HelloFresh is giving Whitney Cummings $100, but they're they're paying Fighter and the Kid $120, but Whitney gets more, more likes and more engagement, more views, more engagement. That's going to cause a problem. So you can't just leak other people's financials to whoever this guy is. You know what I mean? Unless he's working in that same thing. And then in that case, you need to have him sign an NDA, which he's about to expose that he did not sign an NDA. Again, bad business practices.
Like, well, I kind of need to get a whole picture, and he just wouldn't share it.
Oh, that is a red flag. And it also lines up exactly with what I heard from a lot of the creators. The accounting was always weird. People had to chase it down, and the numbers were a little screwy. It led them to distrust what they were getting from Colin.
I can tell you, us personally, what we estimate we are owed
Yeah.
is what they told us they owed us, plus whatever we think they still kept billing for after that date.
Right. That's what I was.
Plus, we don't know truly what the accounting is because they stopped supplying accounting, and at one point,
This is why you do it yourself. You have it in-house because you always know what the deal was made for. If the deal was made, they don't know what the deal was made for. Who signs on for this shit? I don't understand. Who in their right mind signs on for this shit? Oh, I don't know how much I'm being paid, what the deal was for, but this is how much they paid me. I don't really care. Who does that? I want every penny that's owed to me. You're running a business. Even if it's a podcast, it's still a business. If you're capable of writing off expenses for taxes because you are making money, then you are a business.
earlier in the year, their accountant sent me 2 different sets of numbers of what money I was supposed to get.
Okay.
So I don't trust their accounting.
Well,
I can't.
right. I'm not trying to blame the victims here, but like, let this be a lesson to everybody starting out or moving forward. Do it yourself. You can do it yourself. It's really not that difficult. You can automate a spreadsheet. There's so many things that you could do to make sure that those numbers are tight, and you are not spending the time on it. It wouldn't take much time, more than maybe like 15 minutes a day, to make sure that your numbers are correct. I think that people think that they need to spend hours and hours on financials, but you don't. You just have to stay organized. And sometimes for me, that's one of the hardest things to do, is to stay organized. So I get it, but please don't pay somebody to manage your money for you. You know what I mean? Don't pay somebody to like make don't pay someone to receive your money. That's me. It's bad.
Emphasize enough. I heard this complaint over and over, not just from Brian Last. Everyone was worried about the accounting, but a lot of people who spoke up were just anonymous because they were afraid of Colin suing them, which isn't surprising because Colin warned Brian, who started talking, quote, "The ensuing damages, if you were to cause this deal to unravel, are within the region of $10 million to $20 million.
Damn.
Consider this a serious caution. It would lead to decisive legal action." So basically, he was threatening people, and people are scared. But I realized that these payment issues, accounting issues, they were all clues, sure, but not the whole story. To really understand how it could be that Cast fell apart, we need another piece of the puzzle, which is minimum guarantees. Remember, I told you earlier that I was simplifying podcast networks. So let's go into the deeper waters. The truth is, these deals vary wildly, and some of the bigger podcasters demand something called a minimum guarantee,
Right.
where they aren't just paid a split of ads, they're paid a guaranteed minimum every month.
Right.
And podcasters love this because it means they don't have to wait so long.
Red flag. How can you guarantee that I'm going to get paid for this? Can you guarantee that I'm going to get paid for this? Is there, I'll be seeing it in my account every month at this time. And if not, you know what I mean? It comes, I'm not experienced with this. I don't really know all the ins and outs, but I do know how money works. I do know that like when someone is paid money on my behalf, that you should, dude. There's no reason that I should be broke. That's all I'm saying. I'm starting to get mad at myself here. Oh, which brings me to our today's segment of ASMR self-hatred. I'm going to have to switch to the big cam for this one. Hello. We have reached the time of the episode where I talk crazy shit to myself in an ASMR voice. Today, we're gonna explore self-hatred in a financial way. Why the fuck am I broke? Excuse me while I destroy this. There's no reason for you to be a fucking broke boy. You should make more money. You're smarter than this. Money isn't everything, but you're a piece of shit. You're a broke piece of shit. You can do better, but you're not doing better. All it would take is a little bit more effort, but instead you're fat, fucking lazy fuck that doesn't want to put this shit together to actually do some shit with your life. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to talk more shit to myself. Sorry. And that has been today's self-hatred ASMR. Back to CoffeeZilla. We got to wrap this up because I got one more thing I want to talk about, and it's getting late. Right. Okay. Right. 100%. What did I say before? Bad business practice. Don't fucking do it. This guy is a scammer. He's a fucking greaseball fucking scammer. You know what I mean? It just pisses me off that people fall for this bullshit. I understand why people fall for this bullshit. The promise of cash, the promise of money, more money than they were bringing in before. But you can do it yourself. Oh, shit. We ain't even... Oh, my God. You didn't even hear that part because I forgot to switchback. Pimp name switchback. Sorry. Let me go back. Where were we?
Colin, though, this is how he fell behind.
We had months in there where our gross profit margins were, literally negative prior to any operating expenses. Because the minimum guarantees that made economic sense when we made the deal were just completely underwater.
Basically, he overpaid. Cast made deals.
Don't make deals of minimal fucking things.
To bring people on in the first place, overpromised, and then couldn't pay. Even Colin's former business partner agreed with this, although he thinks some of the money went to Colin personally as well.
Yeah.
We've got Colin's narrative as his business partner. You look
But I also think it's easy for an employee to pass the buck on to a person. And there is no responsibility. There is no accountability. That's going to come back on this guy, whoever's saying this. He could just pass it all the way up to the CEO, and that's it. But who knows? My guy that's talking could be taking the money too. There's no way for CoffeeZilla. Jesus, there's no way for CoffeeZilla to ever find that out because the money, this guy that he's talking to, is just an employee that needs to get paid, and there's probably not a financial. There's probably not paperwork to show how much if he was stealing. I'm not saying he's stealing. I'm just saying it's easy to pass the buck straight to the CEO, but and to make it look like things are being scammed off the top. Maybe, which I think is most likely, is that the guy, he's just not a good businessman. He maybe knows how to make money. He doesn't know how to disperse money. He doesn't know how to make the money work for left and right. You know what I mean? Like to pay your employees. I mean, the idea of a minimum guaranteed minimum. If someone was to say that to me, it would pique my ears for sure. I'd be like, oh yeah. Okay. Damn. So you mean I'm guaranteed to do that? But I would also have follow-up questions with that. Like I said earlier, you can't just ever I don't care what you do. If you're going to sign your name to a contract, there better be fucking follow-up questions. You better know every single thing of that contract. And I understand when you're going to buy a car, when you're buying a house, when you're selling a house, the money, the thing that you're buying, it all sounds great. You might miss some things inside contracts. It has happened to me before where you quickly, you're excited to sell the house, but then you read the contract and you're like, holy shit, this is not right. And then you have to go round and round with somebody to correct these issues. Sneaky things are hidden in contracts all the time. I don't care what it is. It's happened to me multiple times. When I owned a little art supply store back in the day, I remember signing a contract for the credit card machine, and the stipulations on that credit card machine, and I asked how much would it cost to buy the machine outright instead of paying you the money, and he said $250, but you shouldn't do that. And I said, why not? And he said, well, because if you pay it in law, it'll come out of it'll be included in your payment every month anyways. So your payment won't barely move. So you'll never even see it. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's cool. So basically I'm getting it, in my brain, I'm thinking that it's free, even though I know I'm spending money, but it's like a super small percentage. What ended up happening is that I signed a contract that legally binded me to paying that credit card machine and a percentage of my sales for a very long time, because I saw money, I heard money. You know what I mean? The stipulation sounded great to me, but I did not read the contract properly. I got out of it by just not paying the motherfuckers, and it come to find out that they were scammers anyways. So the business folded, and I paid them nothing.
$4 million.
Also, art supplies is largely a cash business. Credit and debit back in those days was not anywhere near as popular as it is now. We're talking 13 years ago.
Missing. The big question on everyone's mind, where did the money go?
Well, I mean, I think there's a couple places that the money has gone. One is he built a custom house. He was known for going on big,
I bet he said Laurel
crazy
Canyon.
vacations. He went to Hawaii multiple times in 2022 and was posting about it on his social media. There's not a question of was there money in that sense to be able to buy land where a lot of celebrities go to escape.
Oh, maybe Joshua Tree then.
But
or what is it? Palm Springs.
Aside from that, the other thing that he has done is
Big Bear. What else? I mean, Big Bear, Palm Springs. I don't think too many celebrities are buying land in Joshua Tree. I don't think that it's like all that expensive. But if he's a musician and he likes to get high or like do some like psychedelics, maybe he did buy some shit in Joshua Tree.
essentially
29 Palms. I don't know. What else would it be?
Make constant minimum guarantees to new talent to try to entice them to join Cast Media. So saying, I'll give you a 1 year guaranteed $250,000, $500,000, whatever his minimum guarantee is.
Right.
Now I've heard that even.
So you're saying he's making bad deals based on what? Just randomly generated numbers based on what he thinks he could get out of the thing? I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing unless you can prove that that's what he's did. He just kind of grabbed a number out of his ass and was just like, I can guarantee you this, and just kind of siphoned that money. I don't know if that's a provable thing. Let me hear it again.
Minimum guarantees to new talent to try to entice them to join Cast Media. So saying, I'll give you a 1 year guaranteed $250,000.
Okay.
$500,000, whatever his minimum guarantee is. Now I've heard that even as soon as February of this year, he was offering multi-million-dollar minimum guarantees.
Yeah, but to who?
At the same time, where he claims his revenues are way down, he's offering multi-million-dollar minimum guarantees for talent.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's
you
a
know,
good
his
follow-up
priority is trying to keep the new talent happy for a while, with essentially his whole goal of selling cast to make big money in the end. But yeah, I would say that honestly, most of the money probably went to the minimum guarantees of other talent, instead of to the people that it was supposed to go to.
Wow. That might be the closest thing we have to a coherent answer on what happened to
It's
Cast
not-
Media.
Okay.
Although our story doesn't stop there, because obviously that's a pretty big accusation.
That's
Some
a
of the money
huge
may have gone to
accusation.
a house. So I decided to look into that and found that Colin Thompson indeed bought a $1.7 million house.
Where?
The same year as his financial troubles. And I also found out
$1.7 million, depending on where it is fucking nothing. 1.7 million in LA is nothing. So it depends on where this house is at. Like, because who knows? Did the guy actually need a house? Was his lease up? I'm not gonna give this guy. I'm not giving the guy a break at all. I think this guy's a scumbag. I shouldn't say a scumbag. I think he's a bad business person. Let's say that he's a bad business guy. He doesn't know business very well. But what I don't want to say, I don't want to assume that he is spending $1.7 million on a house that he didn't need. Is this a second house? Is it a third house? Maybe, like I said, his lease is up and he needed to move out. $1.7 million on a home is not all that money. And I don't know if he said he built the home, but if he built a home, man, 1.7 ain't getting you shit. You're going to get a 1,100 square foot bungalow out in California. There's depending on where it's at too. And if it's a place where celebrities go to escape, say Palm Springs, 1.7 million ain't getting you. Goddamn. 1.7 million ain't getting you shit. I imagine Palm Springs. I imagine Big Bear. I imagine Joshua Tree. 1.7 million could get you something in Joshua Tree, but not much. The land itself, I'm not sure. I don't really know what land is worth in Joshua Tree.
that right about the time he was talking about declaring bankruptcy, he moved that house into a trust where the trustee was a Wyoming LLC he set up.
Okay.
Which, from where I stood, looked a lot like hiding assets from a bankruptcy right before a bankruptcy.
Sure.
But when I confronted Colin about this, he said, I had things completely backwards. The truth is, he was hiding his property for a totally different reason, a very sympathetic reason.
A divorce.
We anonymized our address because we were getting threats in the last 30.
But you, again, I gotta. It's not illegal to quote unquote hide assets. You're not hiding assets, but like if you are a company and this guy's a network, right? He owns a network where multiple people are a part of this network. Multiple people are part of this network. It is a tax. A tax you can get. It is a write-off to buy a home and allow it for a certain amount of time to be used by people that are a part of that network. So we don't know, and to buy it in the name of the LLC is fine. That's fine. There's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing shady about that. It's actually recommended that if you are going to be someone that has multiple businesses or multiple ways of having multiple streams of income, that you start an LLC. And I'm not going to, okay. I'm not going to expose everything here, but just starting an LLC and having multiple LLCs, there's nothing wrong with that. Having multiple streams of income under a blanket company that is branches down to like, you know what I'm saying? Having a company, a parent company, and then having smaller companies, that's okay. That's fine. People do that all the time. Imagine a person who, I'll just take myself for example, real estate. I also plan on, I make a little bit of money with graphic design, not so much these days, but what if I sold stickers and t-shirts? It has nothing to do with the real estate brand, but it's still a business, and I still have to use I still have to like take advantage of these tax write-offs that I'm spending for, let's say, t-shirts or stickers or notebooks, magnets, and all that kind of stuff. I still use those expenses as tax write-offs. It's fair. It's fair. There's nothing wrong about it. But I'm also doing real estate. So I can't necessarily lump the sales of stickers and t-shirts and notebooks and shit into the sales of the real estate. It gets really sticky if you do that. So you have to separate it. I plan on doing other things. Let's say I'm making money off this. I could lump the sales of the stickers and t-shirts and notebooks and that kind of stuff into this if it was merch. But what if I wasn't merch? What if they were two completely separate brands? I would have an income stream of this. I would call this a media company. I would call the t-shirt design like a merchandise company, and I would also have real estate. So all of those aren't into one, so you create smaller companies off a parent company. And I would call myself, like, let's just call it the Greg Corp, right? That is not what the fuck I would call it. It's a terrible name. And then I would have all of these companies underneath that, because it stays organized for tax reasons. If the IRS comes from you, it's completely legit. So that's not what this guy did. Again, bad business. Bad business. You don't buy a house for yourself and then transfer it to a Wyoming LLC that you own in order to hide those assets. It's weird. If you think fucking Mr. Beast has his house listed under Mr. Beast, you're out your fucking mind. Or Jimmy, whatever the hell his last name is, or Logan Paul has a house and it's like under Logan Paul, you're out of your mind. He would buy that shit in the company name, man, because you don't, or in a small company name. So people can't find him, you know? People can't see what he's spending his money on. People do this all the time. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not shady. It appears shady to a regular person, but it is not shady. There's nothing shady about it. Any accountant will tell you that is on the up and up, and that is how you actually should do it. If you want to take advantage of all the tax benefits that you can get, that's how you do it. Obviously, I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just saying it happens all the time.
30 days. There's been, you know.
Sure.
I really want to finish this. I may not have enough time to go on to the next one. Hold on. Let me just see real quick. Why'd I just hit my email? That's not what I wanted. It's 59 degrees outside. It's probably, of course, 61. It's 61 degrees and sunny. It might take a little bit of time. I want to get through this, though. Let me get through this. We'll see where we're at. Because I want to make sure I record my thoughts on the next video. Because I would like to chop that up and maybe make that an actual form of content, a piece of content. I can't really use this as a piece of content other than a reaction to this, but then it's a 21-minute video that I've actually extended out to being 40-some minutes, and no one's going to watch 40-some minutes of me reacting to this video. I will, however, need to chop this up. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I think you can see though how other people might see it another way, where it looks like you're trying to shield it by hiding it
100%.
from a personal name into a trust owned by an LLC.
Like I said, it looks
in a very favorable state.
I assume you listen to the Jim Cornette episodes where they specify where I live. right? I assume you listen to the Jim Cornette episodes where they specifically call out where I live. We were really, really concerned. We were getting threats.
Doxed.
When I heard this, I was pretty alarmed, and I totally understood his fears. So I went to go ahead and look for the episode where Jim Cornette apparently specifically called out where he lived, but it wasn't there.
I was going to say, I did
Actually,
no
Jim Cornette
coffee
never mentions a
well.
specific address, but a general area. But way more damning for Colin's story is the fact that that episode came out in July, but Colin formed his LLC for moving the house in June.
Mm-hmm.
Before these threats,
I think he was probably
ever
just
happened,
using that as an
he's
example.
creating this shell company. So I found it very hard to believe. I pointed this out to Colin, and he said this, quote, "They revealed general details, and I anticipated the possibility of this happening. Brian threatened it very specifically in my original email."
Again, bad business guy. He's a bad business guy. There's really legal explanations for this, and he decided to actually, like, instead of say what the fuck he was actually doing, being transparent and authentic, instead of doing that, he decided to fucking dip down and say it was because of this bullshit, and that's gonna get you in trouble with the fucking taxes. That's gonna get you in trouble with the IRS. Bro, you fucked up.
Exchange with him back in May. So I got a hold of those emails. There was no threat in them. Instead, Brian said things like, "Consider this a serious caution. We're going to make sure to endlessly let all listeners know with great detail that Colin Thompson of Podcast One stole our money because he doesn't know how to run a business."
Oh, and that's the actual answer, because he doesn't know how to run a business. The real thing is he stealing the money, or is he just doesn't know how to run a business? The real answer is not that he's stealing the money on purpose. He just doesn't know how to run the business. I look at this guy and I think, God, you're a fucking, like...
Which is sort of true. This guy doesn't know how to run a business.
It's not sort of true.
So
It's way true.
I became increasingly convinced, maybe, just maybe, Colin might be lying to me about why he hid his house in a trust with a Wyoming LLC trustee. Okay, I
He's
know
definitely
this
lying
is
to
a
you.
bit inside baseball right now, but it's important because I think it
Also,
reveals-
people put things in trust when they don't want to pay taxes on them. You know what I mean? When they sell, the money goes back into the trust. People, that's what's going on here. He's getting bad advice, bad financial advice.
Intentions. Because I then looked up the website he used to create the LLC. And the website tagline for Colin's LLC is, quote, "Asset protection is our only focus."
Right.
So, want to hide your house? Wrong company.
No.
Not their focus.
Wrong. Asset protection is our only focus. Okay, I don't want to go too deep into that, man. Let's
focus. Asset protection? That's your guy. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised that he tried to say this wasn't the case. So I sent a screenshot of that to Colin saying, "Hey, you're obviously hiding assets in this company that specializes in asset protection planning," where the other tagline, by the way, is "Creditors will be forced into a better settlement or to dismiss the case altogether." And when I sent that to Colin, he responded, quote, "I can't speak to what's written as marketing material on a website.
Right.
I didn't write it."
Smart move.
Come on, bro. We got you, okay?
I don't
can't
think
go
so.
Show up.
I don't think so. I love CoffeeZilla. But you ain't got nobody, dude. You have nobody. Like that in that situation, you don't have me. You're just speculating on that point. It's fine. CoffeeZilla's fucking amazing. He's so good at digging up this bullshit, right? He's so good at it. And like I'll say it again, I'm not defending this guy. He isn't a very good business person. I'm not going to assume that he stole the money. CoffeeZilla does not make videos to not assume. You know what I mean? He's not like me where he's like, well, this guy I give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I get it. In this scenario, though, the guy, that's the only time he's ever answered right. I cannot speak to marketing material on a website. That's fair. I don't think they got you. There's other reasons to want to protect assets other than what you think is going on. The guy, it's his home. If he loses his home, he's fucked. Somebody gave him bad advice, financial advice, to do it this way. That's the real.
Up at an asset protection only store and say, "Hey, I was just looking for a little anonymity." That's not being honest.
No, it's not being
And look,
honest. He
I
should have
don't know
just
how
said what he
dumb
was
this guy
really
thinks
doing.
we are. But in my opinion, what happened is pretty simple. I think Colin bought a $1.7 million house the same year as he had trouble paying people. I think his accounting was always sketchy. I think he overpromised people money to attract new talent. And I think in the end, he tried to sell it all to a bigger company and force these podcasters into raw deals.
Agreed.
And worst of all, this is not a new story. Colin is not unique.
Not in the
Actually, the
slightest.
main reason I took this case is because we've all seen this story play out before. Sleazy business guy screws over artist or musician or podcaster. Look, to be honest,
With the promise of money, let me give you the same bit of advice. Taylor Swift, and I talk about Taylor Swift in this degree all the time. The smartest move she's ever done was to buy her own masters. The dumbest move she's ever done was to give up those masters. Did she get to the height she's at because of a record label? Yes. But the smartest thing she did was buy back her masters so she can re-release those motherfuckers and make double the money and all of it be herself. That's so smart. But I think and I believe that in 2023, we are capable of doing this by ourselves. With some ingenuity, with some guerrilla style marketing, with some social media bombardment of content, I think we can also do this. When I say we, I mean I'm talking literally everyone. I think everyone can do this. It is just there's going to be a line for me, and there's going to be a line for you when you just don't want to sacrifice a certain part of you to get a certain result. And I think that that's fair. I know for me, I'll give an example of losing weight and lifting weights and working out all the time. There's a certain line. At one time, I weighed 245 pounds, and then I lost a shit ton of weight, and I was at like 170, right? But I was working out every single day, not taking any days off. Some days I would work out twice a day. And when I would lift, right, when I would work out, my workouts would be regular strength training workouts. Oh, here, let's just say this. I would walk 4 miles a day, every day. I would then work out for an hour to 2 hours every day. Some days I would do another full workout, lifting weights, with a friend of mine, a couple days a week. On the remaining days of the week, I had boxing, so I would box, and then I would also run, but then I would get exercise doing like cutting grass and stuff like that. So I would spend a majority of my day. Oh, on top of that, I was cutting calories and watching my macros and all that kind of stuff. And it came to a point in my life where I was like, is this shit even worth it? How much sacrifice do I need to give? How much more of a sacrifice do I need to give to get to where I felt like I could see like a six pack? I wasn't up for it. But the same goes for every personal venture that you have. I think that like if you're going to do something like YouTube or podcasting and all that kind of stuff, you should always right. I agree. Good point. Casey says, good point. Enjoy your life. Train for UFC. Or train for UFC. Why are we doing it? Yeah, 100%. And I think the same thing goes for any kind of venture when it comes to like a podcast or being a YouTuber or all these things. I think you'll find if you talk to any like successful YouTuber that they've sacrificed some things to get to where they are. It's just going to be up to you what you're going to sacrifice. If your main goal is to make a YouTube channel where you're making money, do not sacrifice the part where somebody else takes over the financial part. It's just it's not smart. If you're doing it for fun, don't worry about it. Just do your shit, you know? Just make sure you have your penny, you know, your pennies counted. I think, at some point we all come to a thing of like, how much do I want to sacrifice? How much do I want to give up of my life to press this thing forward? Taylor Swift is a great example of someone who got into the game being scammed. She was led to incredible heights through that scam, but then she brought that scam, she benefited from that scam when she bought all her masters back. She is a economy of her own at this point. The Taylor Swift business is not the music business. Taylor Swift is a marketing genius. She's got a team behind her that is absolutely phenomenal. She's got so many people behind her that work for her. When she shows up in a city, she changes that city's economy. It's been proven. Same thing with Beyonce. You think Jay-Z made the money he made just off of rap music? You're out your fucking mind. There's just, how much do we give to get to these people's level? A lot of us aren't willing to give what they have, to reel it back in, some of these podcasters are like, I need this kind of money. I want this kind of money, but I'm not willing to give up my financial, I don't want to be bothered with doing the financial shit, which is fine. Most creatives don't want to do the paperwork. Most creatives don't want to do the inventory. Most creatives don't want to deal with financials, but also understand by doing that, you are risking losing out on a majority of money that you could be making. It's really, finances are really not hard. Like I said, you can automate a spreadsheet. You could take 15 minutes a day to go over that spreadsheet, add or subtract. You'll be in charge, in control of your money and how much you're getting paid. Reach out and get the deals yourself, or pay somebody else to secure those deals for you. Never sign paperwork that you have not completely read over and over and over again. And I think you can avoid this. I don't think you need a quote unquote label or a network these days. I think you can do it. You just have to put in extra effort.
I wanted to find out how it happened, but I also wanted to find out how we can learn to prevent it in the future.
I don't think I'm getting to the next video
to be
today.
honest, I'm as much in this media landscape as these guys. And I think the answer starts with how you get involved. How did Colin find and sign all these celebs?
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Truth is, some people were introduced. Theo Von was introduced by Brendan Schaub. But I asked Brian and Brendan how they got involved, and their answer struck me as part of the problem. Was he just offering better deals than everyone else?
No. It's word of mouth. It's because what happens is they go, "Who is your agency?" We don't know nobody, we're not interacting with these people all the time. What happens is, it's like, if there's an agency that this person is with and this person is with, we go, do you make money? Yeah. All right. Can you hook me up? And then,
especially when comics are talking like, man, this guy's killing it for us, man.
Yeah.
I made 1.6 million this year, and like, damn, that's more than I made. Who you think you'd take me on? Then it becomes this snowball effect, and then everybody's there.
Yeah.
This is the issue. And look, it's not
no one
to
asks
absolve
questions. They just
Colin.
hear 1.6
it's
million.
not to put any blame on anyone who got screwed over here. But the truth is, people are always led around with these dollar amounts. Oh, you made this much.
100%.
That's how they get you in these bad contracts.
Yep.
And then they don't pay you, and you're left chasing a Wyoming LLC to
Every
nowhere.
time.
So this isn't just about these podcasters. It's everywhere. It's about 360 deals in music, MCNs with YouTubers,
Yep.
and just honestly business people begging you to let them control your money and then you getting scraps. It's as disgusting as it is common, and I really hope that any aspiring people in media learn from these mistakes and scams and realize you don't need these middleman people most of the time. But more than that, do not trust people with your business who promise you the world. In fact, usually that's the worst red flag.
100%.
Oh,
I said
you're
it a
gonna
million
make all
times.
the money. Just sign here. It's a trap. And you never
Every
know
time,
what's in
man.
the fine print until you read it. Just ask Dylan Dennis.
Fucking Dylan. That's so funny, dude. CoffeeZilla exposed Dylan Dennis on a scam. God, you follow CoffeeZilla, man. Go check out that Dylan Dennis UFC fighter. Dylan Dennis. Check out that how CoffeeZilla exposed Dylan Dennis on selling bullshit. NFT projects. I think I'm out for today. I have another video that I wanted to watch. I went long on this one, but I need to get my day started so I can get back. Maybe some Starfield today. Hoping some Starfield today. Definitely will be a, I don't know what, a podcast? I don't really know. Maybe we'll be live. My wife and I will be live later on tonight. I'm not sure what time. We'll figure it the fuck out. And everybody, thank you for being here. This will be cut up. And I guess I don't need to explain that. Click like and subscribe if you're here. If you enjoyed the content today, click like and subscribe. Appreciate you being here, Casey. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be good for the day. But that leaves tomorrow, and that's probably a pretty good idea. Don't be a Dylan Danis. Definitely don't be a Dylan Danis. So I think that's it for today. Tomorrow's video, I think it's not going to go as long. It's a much shorter video, but it does bring up some feelings for me that will make me rant for 100% for sure. Take the weekends off. Are you everydayer? I am doing it every day right now till because it's easy for me to do it every day. There's not really much of it's not really much of a chore to do it. I'm doing it anyways. I might as well just turn the camera on and do it. It's fun. I'm not holding myself to any accountability or anything like that right now. Not until I can start showing people, trying to ask people to watch and stuff like that. I'm not really asking people to watch at this moment. I'm just kind of putting the reps, trying to figure out what feels good. And once I find my groove, maybe I'll just have more of a set schedule every day at a certain time, or maybe 3 days a week, which seems more likely 3 days a week. But I like it right now. I like it every day. It's excuse me. It's nice. It gives me a reason to wake up earlier and get my shit done. But it also does, if it goes long, gets in the way of the rest of the day. But so far I'm liking it. I just got to find my voice, find my groove, and then I'll have much more of a thing. But I'm just trying to put as many reps in as possible right now. I'm trying not to burn myself out. But yeah. But I appreciate you being here, Casey. You always hang out forever, and I appreciate it. Always killing it with the comments and stuff and helping the algorithm for me. I appreciate that a ton. Soon we will have a mob of people in the chat, hopefully. But all right, I'm out. I'll be back on later at some point